They say winning ain't everything. Well, we don't have them type conversations over here, man. Had that conversation with the losers. We trying to win at everything we do. Even in the loss, we don't see defeat. We see a lesson learned. Straight up. Look, I came into this world in 1978. The doc looked me in my face and knew I was something great. 45, 42 Prescott, that's where I'm from. Grew up in the slums around dope dealers and bums. As humble as I was, I adapted to my habitat. In my own lane though, far from where they crashing at. Dumb bar graduate, the game I done mastered it. Served in the Navy, look, y'all don't know the half of it. Pops passed in '01, moms passed last year. I know they up in heaven smiling down, crying mad tears, cause they son making it. No telling where I'm taking it. My city been cursed, but I feel that I'm breaking it. Coached at Wayne High in 15 in one state. Seen the fork in the road and went straight. I know what I'm worth, I'm OG King CURT. Brooklyn Nets gaming crew legend, let's work.
Hey, this is OG King CURT, your host of the OG2CENTS podcast. I want to thank each and every one of you who tune in every Sunday. We truly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe, like, and comment. Give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Helps us out a lot. Links are in the descriptions for all available streaming platforms. Let's continue to stand up against all forms of social injustice and racism. And this episode is brought to you by Zenni Blocks. Make sure to armor your eyes with Zenni Blocks virtual clear blue blockers. It's important to protect your eyes from the harmful blue light from your digital screens so you have less eye strain, and that makes for better sleep and performance. Check them out at zenni.com/gaming or follow them at Zenni Gaming on Twitter and Instagram. This episode is episode 35. Off the court with Crush. His name is Rafel Davis from the Bronx in New York, professional NBA 2K League player for Kingsguard Gaming. Was drafted number 3 overall in the 2020 NBA 2K League draft. He was all NBA 2K League second team, all defensive team, all rookie team. He was third in steals at 3 steals per game and 13th in field goal percentage at 69.1%. I don't like to do too much talking, so today I bring to you Crush. How you doing today?
What's going on, OG? Just hanging in there, living life. Happy to be here.
Cool, man. Just jumping right into it. I mean, some people know about your story, some people don't. But just tell the story on how you got to where you are today.
Oh, man, where do I start? Well, if you didn't know, he just introduced me. My name is Rafel Davis, also known as Crush in the 2K community. I'm 22 years old. I've been, the only kid. I'm a single kid. Fortunately, I've been, fortunate enough to live with both of my parents growing up. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, raised, my whole life in the Bronx, the south side of the Bronx of New York. And growing up, I was two things. I was a gamer and I was an athlete. Growing up in New York, it's kind of, tough where you live at, depending, especially on the south side of the Bronx. There's always different places where it's tough. You never know what might happen the next day in New York, especially at the times of, the 2000s, 2010, all the way up to now, even though still. So, a lot of gang violence. So I went to a charter school in the Bronx, and it was from 5th grade to 12th grade. So basically my whole, upbringing was in one school, knowing the same people. And I wasn't the type of kid to be in the streets at a young age. Like I said, New York City was, a dangerous place at the time. So it was either I was playing video games at home or I was, practicing basketball or playing basketball. So let's dive into the video game part. So middle school, I was all about, playing Call of Duty. I was home, just going to school, and right after school, just coming home to play Call of Duty. My mom didn't really want me outside, and, I respected her. I'm her only kid. So, if anything happened to me, it's just like, she's done. She's heartbroken. So, and I always found the median with my parents. That's what I like about them. They're transparent. I'm transparent. So as long as I had good grades, they didn't mind me playing video games. And from about 5th grade to 10th grade, that was when I felt like I found love for video games. You know, I played Call of Duty. Not many people know I almost made a pro in Call of Duty. So I seen myself getting too deep in. That's when I kind of like, you know, pushed the games away and started getting really into sports. 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. You know, just diving my whole time into sports. I was living and dying basketball. I was waking up early in the morning, you know, working on my game, going to school. After school, I had practice. And then, you know, at the end of the day, if I had time, I would just play little video games here and there if I had, you know, enough time in my schedule, and just rinse and repeat. You know, going into 12th grade, that's when I really realized, you know, I might have an opportunity to do this basketball thing. I got a Division II offer from Mercy College. So I took that offer, ended up redshirting there. I didn't play because the coach that, you know, recruited me ended up quitting midseason. I didn't really have a strong relationship with the head coach. I had a strong relationship with the assistant coach. So I ended up leaving that school and moving to Pennsylvania to play junior college basketball. I got there. There was about, you know, 30 people on the team. You know, this is just like
life.
Yeah, the JUCO life is crazy. So there's about 30 people on the team, and it's like survival of the fittest. You got to go in there. You got to prove that you're one of the best. So I ended up not starting there, and it was kind of like a setback for me. So now I'm thinking, do I really want to do this basketball thing? Am I really going to go full throttle with it? So I ended up starting at the end of the season. We won a championship, an EPAC championship, conference championship, lost in the playoffs. And I'm just looking back like, I don't know if this is, you know, this is what I want to do. I always wanted to be a professional basketball player, but, you know, just the way my situation was going, I didn't really feel so confident. So I lost a lot of confidence in being a professional basketball player and you know, still striving to be that person that I wanted to be. So at the time I was just going to school, and, you know, just getting good grades. Always was an honor student. That's what my parents loved about me. I always found the medium with them, you know, just doing what I had to do. And I was working a part-time job as well at FedEx. So this is when I got into video games and 2K. You know, I started playing 2K competitively around like 2K17, 2K18, starting off playing with my friends. And it really got serious. My first tournament was an MPBA tournament, actually. On 2K18, we beat, you know, Reed, Real Reezy and his team. And, you know, that's when I started to gain confidence in myself. You know, that's when the league came out as well. So I'm like, maybe I could try out for this. So season 1 draft, combine, I played it. I got past the combine. You know, I had one of the best stats. Nobody really knew who I was, but, you know, at this time it was the top 102. So if I got into the draft pool, I was getting drafted, you know, immediately, automatically. So I ended up doing an interview, and I didn't get past the interview stage. So I kind of reflected on myself, like, you know, what could I have done to, you know, pass the interview? And that came with experience. So, you know, in the meantime, I was switching in between jobs, trying to find that right place, you know, before, you know, I could really dive deep into this 2K thing. 2K19 came, combine is here. I didn't beat the combine, but my name started to grow. So, you know, it was progress. I was making progress slowly. And season 3 was definitely my last year, you know, probably trying out before I, you know, really dove deep into school, trying to figure out what I wanted to do as a career. So season 3, my name was, you know, skyrocket. So all I needed to do was pass the combine. I knew my interview skills was up to par. And, you know, and that's exactly what I did. So I tried out combine. You know, there's a lot of league tournaments. Didn't make it in the league tournaments. And so I was like, you know, combine is my last chance. And I got past the combine. You know, I played good at 2 different positions, small forward, power forward. Now I'm locked in. I get an email. So I'm like, all right, I've been here before, so I can't, you know, really get my hopes up. I got to get past this interview. I prepare for the interview. You know, I think I do really good. I get an email. You know, I passed the interview process. So now I'm getting ready for these league interviews, and I'm just, you know, I'm confident. I know what I need to say. I know what I need to do. You know, at the end of the day, I'm being honest. I'm letting them know who I am as a person. And, you know, that was really it. I'm here now. You know, just got retained. So I'm doing good now.
Man, that's dope. I mean, I always find it like intriguing of people's story and how they got to where, you know, a lot of people start out playing casual and then they dive over into the competitive scene. How did you cross paths with Goofy and getting on greatness?
Yeah, so 2K19, you know, that's when I really wanted to be a pro. So I linked up on Twitter. You know, one morning I just wake up on Twitter as the summer is we in the summer now, and I run into Zachy Chan, you know, the former Kings guard player. And he was actually playing point guard. He's known for playing lockdown, but he was actually playing point guard, and I was just running pickups with him. And he was actually, you know, playing good. So I'm like, I DM'd him. I'm like, you know, I really like how you play at point guard, and you know, maybe we should play sometime. And I had my friend Vos with me. We could, you know, maybe team up. So we started playing tournaments like that, and he really got me into, you know, WR. You know, I already knew about MPBA, but we was signing up for all these different tournaments at the time, and I was a secondary lockdown. So I was an off-ball player. He ended up making the league season 2. So now I'm put in a position where, all right, I'm in post draft now. Now I got to make a name for myself. You know, the way I think about it is that you can be yourself, be good at the game, and, you know, just be a good person in order to, you know, make a name for yourself. You don't have to be, you know, out of the ordinary. You don't have to be somebody that you're not. Just be natural, and it'll come to you. If it's meant to be, it'll come to you. So, you know, after season 2 was done, I made it to a WR finals. So I felt myself making progress. You know, people started to respect who I am, respect my game. And after season 2, like I said, all the league players was coming back for wagers. You know, they wanted to test the post-draft guys out. You know how it is.
Right.
And, you know, Goofy had ended up being on my team with Mo, and I forgot, Rando and Shots, that boy Shots. So I was playing with them 5v5 versus other league players and post-draft players for money. And, you know, we was doing this every day. It was a daily thing until the new game came out. So, you know, Goofy really respected who I was. He liked the way I played defense. You know, he liked the way I communicate with him on a pick and roll. And we was just winning money every day. So he hit me up one day and he was like, you know, how do you feel about playing with Breakout? And in the back of my head, I'm like, you know, this would be an amazing opportunity. I already told my guys that I was going to play with them, you know, for 2K20. So I'm like, where do I find, you know, that median to tell them, like, you know, I have a great opportunity here. It's nothing personal, but I have a great opportunity in front of me. And, you know, I feel like that can help me in the long run. So he was telling me that he was hitting up Dimes, you know, leader of Breakout. He was hitting up Dimes like, yo, I got this lockdown. You know, I really want to play with him. He didn't know me from a hole in the wall. You know, I just know him online. I was just playing with him. And he's hitting up Dimes and telling him, you know, I want him on the team. Like, I really, really, really want him. So we ended up getting in a PS4 party, you know, a couple of days after that. And, you know, Dimes is, you know, asking me questions. Like, he didn't really know who I was. He's like, you know, what team you play for? You know, Goofy been blowing up my phone. So, you know, I had to come see what's up. Like, so moral of the story is I started playing with them. You know, things didn't really work out. You know, I feel like our play styles didn't really mesh well together. So, you know, Goofy hit me. He was like, you know, if you want to stay with Breakout, you can stay with Breakout. I'm going to start my own brand, Greatness. If you want to, you know, come along, then, you know, you could come along. And, you know, any other player was like, wow, I'm going to stay with Dimes, you know, like, I'm going to just stay with Breakout. Breakout is a household name. It was just, we lost a couple of tourneys in the beginning. But, you know, I was like, Dimes didn't find me. You know, Dimes didn't give me, he gave me the opportunity, but he didn't really give me the opportunity as, like, Goofy did, you know. Goofy was just showing me ultimate support. I didn't even know the dude. Like, so I ended up going to Greatness with him and Screddy. You know, we teamed up with Duck and Truth, and then everything just happened. Like, we was winning everything, and, you know, we was winning money. So I don't know. That's how I really, you know, met up with Goofy. It was just kind of like a thing. Like, if I didn't play post draft, if I didn't play in those money lobbies, then I wouldn't have never known him.
Cool. I mean, people need to hear those type of stories because I think a lot of people give up too soon, and they don't really know the origin behind a lot of players that do make it to the league. I mean, because like I talked to him prior with Splashy, like he said, you know, at one point in time, nobody had a name. Like, I mean, everybody had to make a name for himself somehow, some way, eventually. Your gamer tag, you know, I know what it was before, but how do you pronounce it before you actually changed it to Crush? And how did you what did that name stand for? Where did it come from?
All right, so I had a whole different type of gamer tags. I started on Xbox, so my first Xbox gamer tag was Wicked Woo. So you know, I was wicked. I used to play Halo. You know, where I come from, my dad is West Indian, so you know we use the word wicked a lot. I was a wicked player, which means like, you know, you're a good player. And my nickname is Woo, Wooty. So that's what my mom and my dad used to call me. So my gamer tag was Wicked Woo. You know, just playing casual Halo, you know, 2K9, you know, just little games casual. Wasn't really serious. At that time, I was trying to play basketball and stuff like that. So then I transitioned over to Nautica. Nautica at the time, you know, 2010, you know, that was a brand. Everybody was wearing Nautica. So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna just change my name to Nautica. And one of my friends in the Call of Duty community, his name was Crash. So in my mind, I was like, I want a cool name like that. You know, I play Call of Duty now. I need a good name. You know, if you play Call of Duty, you know, if you have a clean name, they're gonna look at you like, oh, this dude is for real. Like, he probably got some skill. So I basically just took the A out of his name and put a U, and that's how I really got it, Crush. And when people asked me at the time, I didn't want to say I got it from him or like I got it from Crash. I was like, you know, I've been crushing my opponent, even though it sounds corny. That's what my excuse was for taking his name. So Crush, you know, was clean. You know, in the Call of Duty community, is clean in the 2K community, and I just stuck with that.
That's cool. How did you feel when you made the draft pool and then getting drafted to Kingsguard Gaming? What was that feeling like?
Oh man, that was a whole lot of emotions. You know, not making it season 1, especially after, you know, the top 102, like I was just like, damn, like if I was just past the interview process, I would have been in automatically. Somebody would have had to pick me, like.
Right.
But yeah, that was a failure for me. Season 2 was a failure for me. And then season 3 comes. They announced league tournaments. I'm like, all right, you know, I'm cool with some of these guys, but I'm not really cool with, you know, the top guy that I know is gonna win these league tournaments. So I'm just playing with random people at the time. I'm getting first rounders, second rounders. So I'm like, I'm getting kind of nervous. Everybody getting the calls. You made a video congratulating people on making a draft pool. I'm like, God, people are really in here. Like, people are really making this. Like, I'm like, oh man, these league tourneys is going by. Last league tourney I lose is the Timberwolves. So I'm like, all right, cool. What am I gonna do now? Like, I really gotta lock in for this combine. I make the combine. You know, I go in there confident. I went to your event. You know, I was really locked in on this combine. I was really trying to make it. I was giving it my all because I'm like, if I don't make it now, then my confidence level is gonna be at an all-time low. So, you know, getting that email means a lot to me. You know, but I stayed humble because, like I said before, season 1 I got the email. Didn't really mean nothing. You know, I prepared myself for the second interview, and when they told me I passed that interview, I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, I did this. Like, I finally did it. Like, and she was proud of me. You know, growing up, she always supported me. So I never really had that nag in my ear. Like, you know, you playing games too much. Like, you know, you need to do something else. Because I always had good grades, and you know, I always did what I had to do to help her. You know, and do what I had to do for myself as well. So, you know, they're always supportive, and I appreciate that. And now I'm like, you know, I got these teams that want to interview me. So I'm getting interviews. I'm rolling in interviews. And I'm like, wow, like this is really happening. So I get an invite to the draft. You know, they pay for my hotel, and I'm actually seeing these people. I'm like, wow, like I'm really here. Like this is really it. You know, I'm dressed up. I'm sitting at the table like it's the NBA draft with my parents. Got my little name on the card on the table. And I'm like, wow, like, I don't know where I'm going to go. You know, I think I had a pretty decent interview with every single, you know, team that I had an interview with. And now it's just, where am I going to go? You know, they called the first pick, JBM. You know, I had like a chance of going first pick, but, you know, they was leaning towards a point guard. So they call his name. Then the Knicks is up. I look at Duck. He looks at me. I'm like, one of us is going to the Knicks. One of us is going to the Knicks. So they announce his name, he gets picked, you know, and now everybody's looking at me. because it was a rumor going around. You know, the Kings might take a lock first. The King might take a lock first. Find a point guard at 17. So everybody's looking at me. They're like, "You ready? You ready?" I'm like, "Ready for what?" Like, I don't know if I'm gonna get picked third. So, you know, Brendan Donahue comes out and he's like, "The Kings select Crush." So I'm looking around. I'm like, wow, like people clapping. I'm like, wow, this is really happening. I'm really like the number 3rd pick. I felt like Gradient. You know, he's a lockdown that got picked number 2 the season prior. So, you know, it's just a whole lot of emotions going through my mind. Like, I'm really here for 2K. You know, I'm in a professional setting. My mom is here. My dad is here. My grandmother is here. Like, and, you know, I just felt like a whole lot of support was behind me, you know, as a person. You know, people I didn't even know was at the draft, you know, coming up to me like, you know, congratulations. You know, I've been following you since greatness. And, you know, this is just like an amazing opportunity, an amazing feeling, knowing that you actually worked for what you got. You know, never giving up on yourself. You know, just staying the path. You know, keeping yourself at a high level. You know, when times are low. So, you know, there's definitely times where I felt like, you know, I wanted to quit. I didn't want to do it no more. I was losing tournaments in post-draft. And I told myself, you know, I'm going to just give it one good push. You know, your life can change in 1 year. So, you know, do what you got to do. Put yourself in the best situations, you know, the best people you need to surround yourself by, and just trust the process. And that's exactly what I did. So, you know, I take pride in that. I'm here now. I'm happy to be, you know, playing with the Kings. You know, they happy to have me, and yeah, that's basically it.
What separates you from other locks in the league?
Oh man, this is a good question. This is a great question, actually. You know, a lot of people say, you know, lockdown is playing easy. I mean, lockdown is easy to play. You know, lockdown is the safest security in the league. You know, everybody says that, but I feel like it's tiers. You know, when you think about top lockdowns in season 3, you think about Timely Cook, you think about Awkward, you think about Crush, and then everybody else is like down. You feel me? Just based off of how we play, you know. But me personally, what I think separates myself from every single lock is, you know, my ability to lead throughout the whole game, my ability to adapt to change, and my ability to communicate with my teammates, not only about defense, you know, mid-game adjustments, helping my teammates out, you know, watching film, you know, just being an overall leader at the end of the day, and not just, you know, when it's time for me to just stand in front of the point guard, you know, press square. So definitely I take pride in my communication and being able to change the game that way.
Good. Yeah, I witnessed that firsthand at our combine event in Brooklyn. So definitely, you know, I've seen it, and that's what you do. You know, growing up in New York, you get drafted to Kings Guard Gaming. You know, life on the West Coast. Like, what was that like?
Life on the West Coast is actually crazy. You know, this is my first time going to anywhere on the West Coast. I get on a plane. I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, like I'm really flying across the country to play 2K professionally. And, you know, I get down there, I see, you know, my GM, I see my coach, and it's just hot outside. I'm like, why is it so hot outside? Like, I'm used to, you know, coming outside with a long sleeve, a jacket, a sweater, and all I need outside is shorts, some sandals, and a T-shirt. So, and that's on an everyday basis. So I'm like, you know, I love the West Coast. It gives off a chill vibe, you know, like not forced. Where I'm from, the South Bronx, you know, I got family in Brooklyn. You gotta really like stay on your tippy toes. You never know what's about to happen. You know, that's just the lifestyle of living in New York. You know, watch your back. You know, make sure you're doing the right things. Make sure you're around the right people at the right times. Make sure you're not at the wrong places at the wrong time. So the vibe that the West Coast gives me is more of a chill vibe. You know, even though there's still, you know, gang violence on the West Coast and things of that nature, you know, Sacramento in the city, that's where we lived at. So it just gave off a chill vibe, you know, just very different from the East Coast. The weather is beautiful. You know, weather is one of the major things that I love about California, and the people as well, the culture.
Got you. You know, besides playing 2K, being the Pro-Am leagues and tournaments, how have you been enjoying your off season?
My off season has been going great. You know, I'm trying to be a better person in all types of forms and ways. You know, I take pride in streaming now. You know, this is my first year really streaming again. You know, the fans to really know who I am as a person. You know, kind of like as if they was here playing with me. You know, just get to know my personality as a person, how I like to play the game. You know, I like to be natural. So I don't like to be a fake person online and project somebody that I'm not. So I actually like streaming. I enjoy it. I get to connect with the fans. I get to connect with people, that love the way I play. Every time I stream, somebody's always asking me for tips. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the support always. And, I'm just trying to get my mental right at the highest capacity. I want to be a better person. I want to be a better teammate. I want to be a better player. So, just grinding the game out, working on myself, working on my mental health, working on my physical health, enjoying time with family. Because, after this COVID situation, I had to stay in Sacramento for 7 months without seeing my mom. I couldn't fly a plane. It was just FaceTime, over the phone. So definitely enjoying the time with my parents because they know I'm going to leave soon again. And, those are just basic 3 things: streaming, spending time with family, and, working on myself.
Thoughts on NBA 2K21 and the anticipation of the next gen?
Oh, man, I got a lot of thoughts about 2K21. They definitely made it harder for my position to play. We slipping and sliding all over the court. I feel like 2K21 is a guard-based game, and it kind of gave me, a flashback from when league players used to come back. They like, retail is crazy. Like, now I really understand going from the league, going back to retail, you got 99 speed, you getting contact dunks every play. But it's like retail, so you can't really, be mad. Just looking forward, just trying to improve your game, trying to adjust. And, that's one of the things I take pride in is being able to adapt to change, being able to adjust, just working on your game and, staying the course. So I feel like 2K21 needs a few more tweaks to be, at the level it wants to be at a retail standpoint, though. And, I know the league is coming around. I know it's going to be a different game. Next gen is going to be a different game. So, I've just been trying to adapt at the end of the day.
Got you. Thoughts about season 4? We went from, I've said this in every episode that I've talked to the rookies, especially, is that, you didn't get the experience of the stage or anything like that. So, I felt for all the players that coming in this year that didn't get a chance to experience that. But just, going forward with season 4, what's your hopes and anticipation with that?
One of my biggest hopes for season 4 is definitely, even if they have to push the season back, I want to get in the studio. I want that live presence, that professional atmosphere, being able to, talk to the people that's across from me, my opponent. I want to feel it. When I went to Sacramento the first week, we did a boot camp with the Trailblazers, Blazer 5 Gaming. So I kind of got that experience. That was the only time I got to experience, playing across from somebody in the 2K league, of course.
Right.
And being able to bark at them, But, yeah, that's one of my season 4 hopes is being able to get back on that stage. No matter what it takes, everybody deserves that experience. Playing online is just like playing at home to me. It's no intensity in the room. Even though you're still playing for thousands of dollars, you still have those bugs in your stomach sometimes. But y'all want that live presence, so that's one of my hopes.
Got you. Now this portion of the podcast, new segment, OG wants to know. It's rapid fire questions. Answer open, honestly. You can decline if you feel, but just a little fun. Biggest influence?
My parents.
What motivates you?
My parents.
Favorite video game of all time?
Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Okay. Favorite sports team?
Whatever team LeBron is on.
Favorite athlete?
LeBron.
All right. Favorite actor or actress?
Denzel Washington.
Favorite movie of all time?
Oh man, You Got Served. You Got Served. You Got Served.
What do you see yourself doing in the next 10 years?
I see myself being a physical therapist.
Okay. What advice would you give to any people aspiring to become a professional 2K player?
I would definitely say, stay the course. That's one. Two, surround yourself by people, that want to have and want to be where you want to be at. Take everything serious. And three, never give up on yourself. Like I said in my story, there's going to be trials and tribulations. Just stay the course, believe in yourself. And, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Okay. Bonus question. What are some things that you want to see different from the NBA 2K Pro-Am community?
I want to see less hate. Over this past time, post-draft players get a lot of heat. Players without a high name or, without a known name get a lot of heat. So I want, this community to be more accepting, for players coming up. Everybody's going to have bad games. I feel like if somebody has a bad game or have bad games in a row, they look at them like, this guy is not, qualified. This guy is not a uppers player. They're not a top player. So just being more accepting, less hate, and more positivity.
Okay, now for those who don't know what the uppers is, explain what the uppers is.
So the uppers is really a name for the top players, top qualified, known players, whatever you want to call it. Those are the guys, those are the guys that you want to play against. Those are the high profile guys, whether, I don't know what you want to call it, but, high profile guys is the guys with, names basically. If you get in the uppers, you want to prove yourself. This is like the stomping grounds. It's like if you go to the park, if you go to Brooklyn Bridge and you playing, or if you go to open gym, this is one of the best open gyms. You're going to come in there, you're going to see James Harden, like Rico Hines. You come in there, you see James Harden, you see LaMelo Ball, you see Russell Westbrook. You want to go in there. Those are basically like the uppers equivalent to the, 2K. So you want to go in there, you want to prove yourself and, make a name for yourself. And if you play bad, they're going to let you know. They're going to let you know how it is. You playing bad right now, I need you to step it up. Simple. So, yeah, that's basically what the uppers is.
Gotcha. At this point, let everyone know how they can follow Crush and what you do.
I just started streaming, so my streaming stuff is twitch.tv/CrushRaf, CRUSHRAF. You can follow me on Instagram at Rafel Rose, RAFELROSE. You can follow me on Twitter or YouTube. I just started doing YouTube this past year. I have the same app for both of them. It's Crushy with 3 U's, CRUUSHY.
Okay. Crush, man, I've been a great guest, man. I want to thank you for coming on. And we have to do it again sometime.
Yes, sir. I definitely had fun, telling my story. And yeah, we definitely have to do this again sometime.
Okay. I just want to thank everyone for tuning in to this episode, whether you're listening or watching on YouTube. Make sure you follow the OG2CENTS podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Follow me on social media at OG King CURT. That's Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, you can go to www.ogkingcurt.com for everything OG King CURT and the OG2CENTS podcast. Shout out to my team, Strider Visuals, Box Graphics, and Cy Evermore. And make sure you can catch me every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on EsportsXTRA with host Larry Ridley, the crew Renee Montgomery, Kelly Wells Brinkley, Antonio Williams, Derwin Rowell, and Kevin Mamuzet. And you can watch on Compete Forever, and that's Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Make sure you catch next week's episode, and remember, if it makes sense, it's an OG2CENTS. OG out.
Put this work in, fellas. And much love to the entire 2K community for always showing me love. Without y'all, we wouldn't be here. Yeah.